style. So, 5, 4, 3, 2. What is up, everybody? Ace here, and today I am joined with Shawstin,
Hey.
and we are going to talk about UHC Season 27, which just wrapped up the other day. So, I guess we can take turns talking about how our caving stuff went, and then we'll move on to all the combat. Obviously, you had some early combat, so you can lump that in with the caving stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, so this season was random teams of 3 with Mixon going lone wolf, and we had a city in the middle. And I guess I'll let you start off with the caving stuff.
All right. Well, you could start with me, but it's gonna go back to you anyway because starting off the season, there was that village
Right, the village that everybody was at.
right at the beginning. Like, what, four of the 6 teams, I think,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
counting Mixon as a team, but he was solo.
Yeah, and blue team was on the other side of the city, and I don't know where white team was at the time, but
Yeah.
everybody else was together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So everyone was kind of scrambling for that city right at the start. I wanted to get the Iron Golem, but Mixon was just ahead of me and finished killing it just before I got to where I was going to kill it. So he got the iron from that. But yeah, then Joda, Flux, and I fled into the desert and got like 1 apple and dug down and had one of the best early game caving experiences you can have. Like,
Yeah, that was impressive.
found more diamonds almost immediately. We had a chance by the end of episode 2, diamond armor going into episode 3. I looked. It was hard to just determine playing the game just how stacked that cave was because it took us time to find each diamond vein. But there were 4 different diamond veins within like a 50 block stretch of the same cave.
Yeah.
But like one was under some gravel, one was under some lapis, which like you weren't even supposed to be able to see the lapis because the lapis wasn't even exposed. Joda dug around a lava pit to find the lapis or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was it was tons of diamonds.
Yeah, I didn't find too many until later, but yeah, it was pretty crazy watching you guys like blaze through all that, and watching blue team just go straight into the nether. For my team, I was with Weather and Fruit Fly, and we only really spent a few minutes together before splitting off. I think Fruit and Weather ended up in the city, and I went off into the desert and ended up underground by myself. And I guess Fruit got separated from Weather at some point. And by the end of the first episode, Fruit ran into some mob troubles and then fell a little bit too far and became the first death of the season. Too late for a mulligan. So, and then halfway into the next episode, Weather was in the city, and I guess a creeper snuck up on him as he was searching through there. And just like that, I was alone. So, crazy thing. There's a bunch of crazy things that happened at the same time because a lot of people died in the same few minutes. But in the middle of all that, there's you guys running into Mixon right above me. Turns out.
Really? Was it really that close?
It was rough. It was roughly around there, cause
Yeah, it would have been.
Cause you guys fought Mixon, which if it wasn't for you coming to the rescue, Joda probably would have been taken down there by the looks of it.
It's a serious consideration. If it really is hard to say because like if I wasn't was Mixon going to backpedal if I wasn't there, or would he have committed to fighting? Because if Joda only needed 1 hit, so Mixon would have had to have been fully committed, and Joda would have had to have been fully distracted by the lava. It's possible, but I don't think it's a clear cut. He would have.
Yeah.
Especially since Joda was, semi-enchanted with diamond armor, so... But, hard to say.
Yeah, you came into the rescue either way.
Mm-hmm.
And
I am a professional mixing killer.
yes. Yeah, meanwhile, I was on my way digging up, and I was definitely nearby you guys because I went past the desert temple that you guys ended up by like a minute or two later. And I'm glad I didn't go there because I saw it and was like, oh, that's the one that Killer's team probably found. And then I took off to the border.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of Killer...
Yeah, Killer had an experience.
Yes.
I was speaking to Killer in Discord just the other day. We kind of mentioned it, but he basically said that his whole team's season was basically 3 people trying to remember how to play Minecraft, or at least play UHC. Because Ace and Canuck is never really up to date, and Aces hasn't played in. And Killer has a tendency just to forget, like, all the UHCs.
That's kind of surprising for Canuck and Killer because they're both really good.
Yeah, if Canuck's having a good season, he's having a good season, and Killer's always having a good season.
Yeah,
like the thing Killer mentioned is that like because he always forgets previous seasons, he forgets that he does well sometimes. And he's like, oh, I gotta try, but like going into the season, they were like, there's new stuff in the Nether, let's go to the Nether, and so like, you know. Killer was like, oh, there's a bastion. There's lots of gold in the bastion. Oh, there's also piglin brutes. I forgot they added. Oh, I'm dead. And he got 2-shot.
Yeah, I thought they went there so quickly because Killer like had the whole thing like researched inside and out and like knew all the tricks and everything. But next thing I know, both he and Aces are dead, and Canuck doesn't quite escape the Nether in the end there.
I think he. Are you sure he didn't make it out of the Nether, or I seem to remember hearing that he died like shortly after escaping the Nether.
Yeah, it was either shortly before or shortly after. I don't remember, but
it's the same either way. But
because a skeleton could be in the Nether or outside. So, but so all that happened. Tukey died, and he was our debutant for the season.
Funny story about that one. I was also talking to RV with Killer the other day. Tukey was not briefed on UHC very well.
Oh, so no.
He spectated the previous UHC, but to be fair, it was his first time. He probably wasn't paying much attention.
Yeah.
And he got sent in Tiny Stranger's place. But Tiny didn't tell him how UHC works. He did not know you don't regenerate. Which is rule 1.
Wow.
So he took some dumb fall. He took a lot of dumb fall damage, like running around on the surface, because he didn't know better. Like he just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so, before they had a chance to get any health to get him back up, he what was a skeleton? I think
it was a skeleton.
Yeah.
Because he tried to shield and couldn't quite make it.
Yep.
So yeah, in like no time, we lost. The majority of people.
Yeah.
And
like from the end of episode 1 to like halfway through episode 3, we lost what? 7 players?
Yeah, something like that.
All blue team, 2 yellows. Or sorry, 2 yellows, what? 2 whites. No, 1 white, 2 blues, and 1 red.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 7.
And 2 cyan. Because fruit and weather, all a blue team. And then Tukey, and then Mixon. So that's 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was wild. So for me, my whole thing was just trying to buff up, and I ended up finding another temple by the border, and that had a bunch of books in it. One of them was a Frostwalker book, and I was like, I could disenchant this with a grindstone and get some levels out of it. And I was like, I don't remember how to make it. So I kind of shrugged it off. And then once I found my way into a mineshaft, it like suddenly clicked like an epiphany. And I was like, I can enchant if I disenchant this book. So So yeah, I looked up the grindstone recipe and made it and got my book, and then that's how I ended up getting enchanted. It was in that mine shaft that I started finding all my diamonds, and then after I was done there, circled around the map until I found another temple, and then found a bit more diamonds down there. Found me a horse, started making my way to 0-0. Found the roof forest biome, got myself some suspicious stews, and then found a portal remnant. And I actually looked at that remnant that I found. I went back to look at it. That thing is massive. Like, there is a chest somewhere like deep underground. It's one of those giant ghast-sized portals. But
yeah.
there was no way I could have known that from the. I just took the 2 blocks and left, but.
Yeah, and knowing what the chests are in those things, like...
Yeah, they're not great.
I think there's a chance for golden apple, which I guess means it's technically worth it to dig it out, but, like, that's it. Like, you're not going to get much else.
Yeah.
Like, the 2 gold blocks is plenty.
Yeah. But, I guess a couple other caving notes is, just in general, from when I looked back at the map, was I didn't really find any spot that a notch apple could have been, because nobody found one. So I took a look through a few of the mine shafts and didn't really find any. And I looked at the there was a tower, one of those pillager towers by the city. It had a crossbow in it, so
That's nice. There were a lot of crossbows this season, I noticed.
yeah, I think people are starting to realize how useful they might be. Like
I don't think that was entirely on purpose, though, because... can you hear that, by the way?
Yeah, but it's not a problem.
Okay. Like, it came on, I, like, muted, but, like... Discord doesn't detect it unless I'm talking, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like Panda always wants to have the crossbows. Like, that's just his thing. I feel like... on him. So Joda and Flux both had crossbows. But, like, I don't think we would have made crossbows if it weren't for their picking them up.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot all about the whole piercing effect that it has on shields, so...
Yeah. Like, it slipped my mind until just when the battle started. And I remembered,
That vacuum's getting closer.
yeah, vacuum. And I remembered, what was last season? No, it wouldn't have been last season. Well, when was it? Maybe I remembered watching a video of it happening, but I remember, like, seeing, like, you know, the piercing effect happen. I'm like, Panda's gonna shoot you through your shield, everyone be alert.
Yeah.
I think it did happen to Joda and maybe myself once in that fight as well.
Yeah, it wasn't until that battle that I realized that could happen. So
yeah, but like it's I'm keeping I need to keep those crossbows in mind in the future, because like the ability to like just duck out, shoot, and duck back in without like that's powerful, and I have underestimated that.
You've got a lot of maneuverability with that.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind.
So, do you have any other caving notes before we get into the combat?
Caving notes. What was the second cave like? Nah, it was just classic caving, just finding some cave and stuff. Oh, I did hit Joda once. That was fun. I had a Boo from season 24 moment where I just threw him some iron, and then just slapped him with my sword. That did like 2.5 hearts.
Yeah, Boo would be proud. Except
that was a little too fun.
Boo is booing you the entire season, though. So
yeah, well, that's fair. When you get the good achievements right at the beginning,
yeah,
everyone loves to have a villain, and if Killer's gonna die in episode 3, well, someone's got to be the villain.
Yep, just so happened to be you this season.
Yep, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I am like neck and neck for the title now, so I mean, might as well be.
Oh yeah, and we'll be talking about that in a minute.
Yeah, that's all the caving story, I guess, for team. Although there was we found out afterwards that when we finished caving in our last cave, we dug up to the surface in the desert, and there was a desert temple like 10 blocks to our right.
Oh right.
But because of the way it was buried,
Yeah.
The sand, no one noticed. The sandstone looked like sand, and no one noticed, and we just
It
walked
took
away.
me a while to find that one afterwards. But
Yeah.
it didn't have all that much in it, so you didn't miss much. I think there's like a little bit of gold, and that's it. So.
Nothing, no big deal. We
Yeah.
didn't have apples anyway, so.
Yeah, I had trouble with apples as well. Like, I didn't chop many trees down, but the ones that I did didn't give me anything. So. But yeah, so we arrive in combat. After the remnant that I found, I ran into RV Bagel, who was keeping an eye on the pink team while chopping trees down. So I swooped in and whiffed a few shots, and and then finally moved in and took her down for my first kill of the season. And I feel bad because this is the third season in a row that I've killed her. And each...
Oh, is it really? You did it last season too. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and the season before. And all 3 times, it was completely unfair for her. Because this season I was on a horse with a golden apple, haven't eaten. Last season I was at full health on top of a mountain, and she was like 1 hit. And then the season before, it was you and me versus her and Joda, and I was on a horse and you had a notch apple. So it's
like I was about to say, I was drawing parallels between this season 25 because you killed RV and I killed Mixon.
Yeah.
Or you killed RV on a horse and I killed Mixon, which was
a
little additional detail that I would notice. And I was gonna contemplate that afterwards and like see if I can find any more comparisons to throw in. But yeah, wow, 3 in a row. That's something.
Yeah, I feel bad because she was talking at the end of the season how like when she gets into combat, she kind of feels like it's all done for. And I'm definitely not helping there. So
maybe you gotta let her have one.
Yeah, I'll just stop. I'll run away next time I see her. Give her a better chance.
Don't go too easy. That's no fun.
Yeah, I might end up with like a season 4 issue where Mary let Killer run away and then Killer ended up winning.
Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of letting get away, like I got once I killed Mixon, I got bloodthirsty, and I really wanted to go kill Pink Team because I knew where they were because they got the trading with villagers achievement, which means they were almost certainly in that first village, and like I don't know what their status was at the time because none of them uploaded, but like if it had been just 2 of them, like us semi-enchanted diamond stuff versus 2 of them, like we held back because Joda was like at like 3 hearts, so like it was like a cautious, but like we totally could have nipped them in the bud, and then we would have just won the season basically.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty dominant season for you guys if you pulled that off.
Like it would have been good, but it wouldn't have been interesting really. It would have been a pretty bad finale.
Yeah,
unless of course we messed it up, in which case that would be a great finale.
Yeah, I still have my horse, but
yeah.
But so speaking of horses, so I went through the city looking for you guys, and turns out you guys left the city with the pink team, and so I decided I was gonna run in and kind of play, I guess, a thorn in the side of everybody, just kind of run into the middle of it. It turns out my biggest enemy of this season was a cactus that that totally decimated my horse for a while, and I learned that in order to stop that, you have to get off the horse and get back on to get him moving again, and so I'll let you talk about the beginning of the battle before I continue on there, but
yeah, okay. So we approached the city. We came up from the surface. We weren't too far from the city, and we saw that Pink Team was like central tower. But we saw that you had killed RV. We're like, okay, before we go into the city to fight, let's do a circle. Maybe you'll find Ace. And also, there's a red mushroom over there. We can get that mushroom, and we can get suspicious stews. We can get some healing going. That would be great. So we start doing our circle.
There's a little side note before you continue.
Yep.
Right as I was killing Bagel, you could actually see me on your screen, like in the distance.
Could you really? Can you? Oh, see, now I gotta check that.
It was. Yeah, you could
Like,
see me charging in on Bagel right before she ran off.
wow,
So,
I'll have to. I'll look at that in a sec. I can't look at it now because my computer will display the audio to my microphone.
but yeah, you can
But
continue.
but yeah, it's like we were halfway through our circle when I noticed Pink Team had left their fortification. I'm like, well, okay, I guess we'll do the fight here. So, and in retrospect, I think that like if we had like baited, if we could have like we could have taken the city back ourselves, and with them being down, and that would have given us the advantage in the fight. But the fight had been engaged, so
Yeah.
didn't really feel like there was much of a reason to go into it. But yeah, so we started taking shots, building walls, the usual stuff. We didn't get too far into it though until Joda saw you peeking out from the city on your way down, and Joda was like, "There's a player," and I was like, "Oh, he's on a horse. Oh, we're in the wide open field. He's gonna come for us first." So we booked it toward the village so that you would be going to a pink team.
Yeah. I saw you guys first. I think I saw a pink team outside the city first, but when I got around to the side, I saw you guys first, so I went after you guys, and then found myself in between you both. And yeah, I had the cactus incident, and then almost died there, but I managed to back off, eat an apple, and that's when you guys charged in on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back in, fired a few shots. I think I hit 3 separate people, and one of them happened to be Special, who I stole the kill from. So
Yeah, I don't know who would have gotten it, because I guess it probably would have been Joda if he hadn't died to you, because
yeah,
even if he died to fire, Joda was also spreading fire, so I think Joda would have gotten the credit for that kill.
Yeah.
Even if it was ambiguous.
But yeah, so
But
I stole one.
I wasn't gonna allow you to steal my maybe kill.
Yeah. Yeah, I made the mistake of staying there. I think if I backed off again, I would have been able to do some more stuff. But yeah, I also didn't realize how low health my horse was, so you just tapped him once and he died, and I was like, oh, that's it for me. So I hung on as long as I could. But turns out my death kind of helped you guys a little bit, because I dropped a couple apples for you guys in that final battle there.
Yeah, you were definitely a pinata of sorts for us.
Yeah.
Not a great pinata though, because I did deal like 2 hearts of damage to Flux while in the process. I'm great at hitting my teammates this season.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's you and Pink in the finale.
Yep, 3 of us versus the 2 of them, Cookie and Panda, and it was a close one. Like, I think we definitely could have done it. Like, I was doubting us because of like the health situation right at the beginning of that. Like, they were both full, and we were the 3 of us like collectively like a 6 each.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was like hesitant to move. It's like I was picking through your stuff, and I didn't even know until after the fact that they had moved closer. Yeah. So like they had moved in and then moved back, while I was like dragging through your stuff, like saying, "Oh, pick up arrows and stuff." Like they were going in, because like and rightfully so. We had the numbers advantage, so like that's a battle strategy. But I had no idea.
Yeah.
So I think a little miscommunication there cost us big, but we still almost pulled it out.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, every time they charged in, I was like, this is a pretty aggressive play, but it's working. But it's like everybody was like not quite charging in each time. And then Joda fell, and then Dennis almost killed Cookie by the looks of it before dying.
It would have been Panda, because Panda was on heart first.
So do you think there was anything you could have done different in like once you were by yourself?
I think if I had retreated to the village, I could have used a bit more of a guerrilla tactics kind of thing to move. Because like in my mind, because there was an enemy on my left and right, I couldn't stay right up against the wall, because then they would just come around and pin me to the wall. So I had to keep moving. But once I kept moving, there was no pressure to be applied. So like in retrospect, I should have fallen back to that village there, or maybe even looped to the city to get high ground. But like that's all entirely dependent on whether or not they could hit me while I was running, which they clearly could because I was moving while I was
There's plenty of
semi
space
behind
there,
that
too.
wall there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got it close. Like I hit Cookie again. He was down to half a heart, and Panda was on 1 heart.
Yep. Next
Like
shot would have done it.
We were all 1-taps, and I couldn't pull it through. But
yeah, I think the only way I could have stolen one is if after I killed Special, I could have backed off and maybe circled around to pick on Pink Team again, and then circled back or something. But yeah,
I think what may have happened though is because of, and I don't know if this would have happened had you not died, but like if Joda and Flux still decided to assert the numbers advantage while I wouldn't have really been hanging back because there wasn't loot to go through. But like I was at like 3 hearts. You could have picked me off if you were still been alive. Because I don't know if you hit me. I think you hit Joda, but I don't think you hit me.
Yeah, I know I hit Joda at least once. I think I got like 1 or 2 good hits.
I think you shot me once, like before I engaged you.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah, I shot at like a few people in there. But yeah, so congrats to the Pink Team for picking up their wins.
A well fought battle, one of the best battles we've had in a while. If I do say so myself.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because like we had a lot of people die early, and it ended up being the shortest UHC we've had. So I was kind of worried that everybody dying so early was going to kind of bring the season down a little bit, but we kind of made up for it at the end there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so on the leaderboard, the big question is Killer still in the lead? And the answer is yes, but only barely, as he has a 4-point lead over Mr. Shawstin.
Ooh.
You got the first kill award, is that right? Yeah, because he killed Nixon. And I'm in third, just 9 points back. Dennis is in fourth with 19 points. And Naxer rounds out the top 5, 45 points back. He didn't play this season. I hope I hope more people play in the next few seasons. But yeah, so Panda's in 6th, Boo 7th, Joda 8th, Bagel 9th, Zalpha 10th, Weather 11th, Tiny Stranger in 12th, Cookie climbs all the way to 13th, Scott in 14th, and then Fire Eyes, Dakota, Rad Special, Canuck, Muck, Fruit, Mixin, Jay, Jad Murdoch, Cielo, Ramon, Asus, Tuki, and Hollywood rounding out the leaderboard. And my championship cutoff line is currently 14th, although there's a few people who might still be able to pull it off beyond that. So, only a few seasons left before the championship.
Whew.
And it's looking like a close one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a 2-horse race this season or this time around.
No, yeah. Unless I guess if Killer continues to fall off this cliff he's standing next to, if he doesn't break this streak he's had of a couple bad seasons, then he might be out of the race.
Yeah.
And then it could be just you and me. But it could very well be you, me, Dennis, and Killer.
And if Panda keeps playing and has some more dominant runs,
back and turns it on.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy group.
From where we're standing, we're at just the right point where like everyone's a contender, but like not like everyone's a contender. Like not everyone's going to be a contender in like next season.
Yeah,
like it's an interesting part. It's the interesting time.
Yep. So yeah, season 28 is scheduled for December. That'll be 3 months from now.
Possibly January if people don't want to do a December UHC.
Yeah, because holidays are busy times. But over on the medal count, we're up to 292 kills all time. So next season I might dish out a bonus for the 300th kill.
Ooh.
So But yeah, Knicks are still leading there with 37. Dennis and I have different parameters for counting kills. So sometimes I kind of look at his notes and get confused. So I'm not sure if the kill count is completely accurate yet. But yeah, so let's see. Cookie's got his third win. I think Panda's got his second. Special, I think, has his second.
Yeah. That all sounds right.
Iron Man Nakes are still leading on Iron Man. You're pulling away with the first skill awards.
Yeah, I have. Oh no, wait. Oh, that was the wrong column.
Yeah. Yeah, you got 4, and
I have twice as many first kills as any other player.
Yep.
Which now I feel like I still no Iron Mans, but I'm getting the first kills.
Yep. Oh yeah, I lost Iron Man pretty easy this season.
Yeah, it's another one of those classic kind of mad at myself ones where like I had one stupid mistake in episode 2 and then didn't get hit for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So like I would have been Iron Man, maybe. I don't actually know at the end because it was the final battle by the time Iron Man was solved.
Mm-hmm.
So like the question is who got hit first in that fight, Panda or me? And I don't know.
Yeah, I got kicked by a zombie. But the funny thing about that is a few seconds beforehand I was like, this is a situation where I could lose Iron Man, and I just get kicked in the face by one of them. So but most kills awards still Nakes are in the lead, but got some people moving in, and no non-chapels this season. So
that's true.
Let's see, anything else? I don't really have much on the facts stuff. It's the shortest UHC. Pretty wild that 7 people died before the end of episode 3. I'm sure there were seasons where that was similar, but this season was kind of wild
compared to recent UHC.
Yeah,
like in season 2, that might have been something where not everyone was used to it, and there were a lot more people. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't actually know if season 2 is a good example, but yeah, compared to recent UHCs, definitely an outlier.
Yeah, and of course, it was funny that we didn't use the city that Lemons put so much effort into putting for us.
Yeah, like shout outs to Lemons for doing all the work for us, yeah. But like sometimes we just don't give a crap. And like I like Flux said it at the time, like not long after we not long after we decided what we were going to be doing for this season. But like we just did Amplified, so like having another like tall terrain where you can't quite get to each other
That's
season.
True. Yeah.
Like I get it, but like also, and like I didn't like going into the city once I got there, but like I still want to do a city season because I still haven't had a combat in the city.
Yeah,
it's been 3 times.
I guess a few people kind of used it. Weather and Fruit were in there in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Pink Team was there for a little bit. I passed through there, so you get a little bit of use, but. What is a little surprising, though, is that only 3 of us got kills this season, which was you, me, and I think it was Cookie?
Yep.
So, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It was a close one, that, too, because, like, Panda could have killed me, Flux could have killed you, so, it's a series of, like, almost getting a kill, but the same guy got it as before.
Yeah.
So.
Bagel could have slaughtered all of us.
Yeah. One person with kill.
Yeah.
Waiting for the day where it's one person with kill, 28 kills.
Have another Firestar Sora in our server.
Yeah.
Let's see. Walls of Fame. I think this is still unofficial, especially the smooth move thing. But MVP, I gave it to Panda because he was keeping Cookie calm during all that. Because Cookie was saying that he was freaking out, and Panda was like, "No, we got this." And it turns out they did it, so. Best battle, there was really just the finale, and then you guys and Mixon, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you and RV.
Yeah. But
yeah, those 2 were pretty were short one-offs.
And pretty lopsided as well. Smooth move. I watched through the episodes, so if you can think of anything from your teams that might fit that better, I just did the grindstone.
Yeah, I checked your. I checked this sheet like not long after the UHC and like thought back on my own times, but I couldn't think of anything particularly stand out.
Yeah.
Nothing smooth, like nothing as clever as going, I can unenchant a book, which I wouldn't have thought of that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that works. I'll take the question mark off of that. Because I was not sure. We didn't really have any multi-kills. Like, people...
No.
Like, not 3 or more. I shouldn't be alive. I should have given it to the horse instead of me, but yeah. For the cactus. And nobody named anything this season. So.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really think about naming things.
Yeah, I collect the name tags, but I don't use them anymore.
I don't even get any. Like, I find temples, but they've already been found. I don't think I found a dungeon in a UHC in a couple seasons.
Yeah, there were a few this season, scattered about, but I just found the one. Walls of Shame, still no team kills, which, all the team damage from this season, it's a little surprising. First episode death goes to Fruit Fly. Again, no mulligan. So, and worst death, I gave it to Canuck, but again, if you can think of anything better.
It's hard to say. Like, you could give it to, like, a number of the, of those early PvE deaths.
Yeah. I could give it to RV for just dealing with me again.
The triple threat, ace, ace, and ace.
Yeah. I'll give it to RV.
I don't think. I think dying in combat, like that late in the season, precludes.
Yeah, that's true.
You could give it to Killer for like getting 2-shot by a brute, or Tuki for was no healing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can go anyway.
Yeah, I guess any of those could have worked. So yeah, I think that's everything I got. I'm gonna do my UHC battle thing. I'm going on vacation for a few days, so it might not happen right away, but I'll get it out eventually.
Yeah.
But
and then Dennis can actually watch my video, my perspective of the fight.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add for the season?
Not that I can think of. I feel like I would have had something, but
yeah,
it was a good season, and
I have one little question for you. How do you like organizing?
It's good. Yeah, I mean,
it's a thing.
It's a thing. It's no big deal. And I get to exert
Yeah.
I don't know. I do kind of like I took up all those like suggestions that like people threw in last time, and like I like threw them out like, hey, what do you guys think about these things that people wanted to talk about? And like you and Flux and I were like had like one comment each on them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know
how it goes.
Since there wasn't much of conversation, I don't really know if I should include it in the future polls or exclude it, like because no one was talking about it. So I don't know. I might throw in the Mega Mesa one because that one sounds interesting to me.
That would be pretty interesting, yeah.
Lots of gold, like cave spires on the surface, maybe because of the spawners.
Mine shafts on the surface.
Everyone's got bows.
That would be a wild one.
Mesas have a lot of varied terrain. Like they can be, flat, like plateaus. They can be like crevices and it'll be interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's everything we got. So
yeah.
UHC 28 is gonna happen December, maybe January, and the race for the championship continues. So
who's it gonna be? Find out next time, or actually not next time. Find out in 9 months.
Yes. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching and or listening to us at least, and we shall see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.